Previously, I built a project under the name of Autodocs, and now I rebuild the same project into a new project with a new name called Odoc. Odoc stands for Open Documents. Basically, I decided to rebuild the project from scratch because of the front end, because previously we built the front end with Rust, and now I'm building the front end with TypeScript using React. In Odoc, we offer 3 types of contracts and with a few other features. Basically, you can imagine if you have a company with like a task management app like Jira or ClickUp, and you would need a place like Microsoft Excels, and you would need a PayPal account, business PayPal account or finance account in order to distribute the payments across the employees. Also, you may need other things like a place to store the profiles of each employee and watch their performance. In Odoc, I offer all that in a very simple and easy way, and you will see in this introduction. So the first thing I offer is a payment contract. Basically, you can assign a person and the amount, and then you can release the payment, and you can have a few other columns if you like. I will show you an example here on the actual website. First of all, I should sign up or log in. When you log in for the first time, it will ask you to input your information. You can also upload your photo if you like, and you can register. After you register, you can see your profile here, and you can see some basic information, and you can see your rating. So initially, you will have 0 rating. This is just dummy data that you can see here. And you can change your data and save the changes if you like. Also, you can go to discover and have few friends. This is also dummy data. Right now, there is only me in the entire community. So I will just create one more user. So right here, I am creating another user. Again, I will register with another user. I will call him John, and I will upload a dummy photo for them, I think. I registered successfully, and now I will go to discover, and I will find this person. I can send him a friend request, and the friend request sent successfully. If I back to my original profile and go to my profile, I will find this friend request right here, and I can confirm the friend request. Now I can create a payment contract between me and this person, and I can rename it to anything I like, my contracts, and I can add one more row, and in this row I can add like $100. It's give me, please select receiver. Okay, I will select this guy. Now it is happy. I can add one more row, just like this, and I can have another contract. You can have another person, but for now I have just one friend. And the interesting part, right now I have 1,000 ICPs, and I already spent 200 ICPs. Now, if I try to create another contract with 750 ICPs for this person, I will get this error message. Your balance is 1,000 ICPs and your debt is 1,400 ICPs. You can't promise more than you have. You need to deposit about 400 ICPs in order to finish this contract. So I cannot do this. I cannot promise more than I have. Now this error comes from the front end, but even when I try to save this back to the backend, I will have the same error message again. So I cannot save this. But now if I change this to 300, let's say, it is happy about it. I can save it also. Now even the backend is happy about it. This is good because it's bring trust in the community. If you don't have enough money, you cannot create a contract, a payment contract at least. In addition to all of that, you will have another ways to show trust, which is this score right here. If you go, you will find this score. So initially, when you create a profile, you will have very low rating, almost no rating. And as you create more contract and as you confirm or release the payments, you will have higher score right here. Your score will get higher and higher. This is interesting thing because it can show you who worth trust and who doesn't worth trust. In addition to deposit here, you will have another button for withdraw. And also you will have another type of wallet, which is USDT wallet, which is a stable cryptocurrency. In addition to all of that, you can rate your friend. Not anyone can rate a friend, but if you have a high trust score, and at that point, you can rate other people. Because, for example, if you didn't create any contract and you didn't release any contract, you cannot rate anyone. But if you have contract, you can rate people. Also, you cannot rate people that you don't have contract with them. Only you can rate all your friends and the friends that you have interactions with. So there is a limitation on who you can rate and who can do the rating. And this limitation will bring more transparency and more trust in the community. Additionally, you can have a transaction history. Now, this is my own profile, and I can see all the transactions. These transactions are executed, this one and this one, and this transaction was canceled. So all transactions are received. Even if you click delete here, the transaction history will stay on your profile. For me, I can see everything on my profile. I can see the amount and the person. But other people, when they look at my profile, they will see different data. They will see only the trust score and how many cancellations I have. So if you canceled one of the payment contracts, the other party can report that cancellation, and that can cause a reduction in your trust score. In general, the more cancellations will have, the more reduction in your trust score. Now, in addition to all of that, you have these three columns. You can add one more column. You can add like nodes here. This is, for example, login task. Let's just say you have a developer and you give them task. You tell them, okay, you can do the login and the sign up for me, and you can add a dark mode for my website. And when you finish that, you can get specific payment. Sorry, this is a bug. I have to fix this. Anyway, you can see, you can click cancel, and when you click cancel, you will get a warning message. Also, you can notice here, if I click here, I can rename and delete this column. But if you click here, you cannot rename or delete these three columns because these are the contract columns. That is about the payment contract. The second type of contract is the accumulative contract. And imagine that you have a course that you want to post this course like on Udemy or somewhere else. Instead of posting it on Udemy or any platform, we can post it actually here on Odoc. We will support few features that help course makers to publish their courses on Odoc, and we will support basic video editing like trimming and removing silences and enhance the audio recording, for example. Let's just say there are two people, John and James. These two people, they created a course and they wanted to post it on the Odoc. When you post this course, you want to have like PayPal, for example, payment can go to John's PayPal account, and from his PayPal account, he can take the $14 and distribute it and give the remaining to James, which is a little bit annoying. And also it could be not very trusted because we don't know John very well. So at this point, you can create an accumulative contract. And in this accumulative contract, just like the previous one we saw, you can assign a receiver here, which is a person. You can, instead of the amount, you will have share. And you will have one more field, which is accumulation. In the share, you can decide how much each person have, like this one 50% and this one 50%. And you will have a place where people pay for you. You can imagine with me. In that place, the payment, like $14, it will go to this contract, and this contract will count how much each person will accumulate in this accumulation. So if John came here to Odoc and tried to withdraw, he cannot withdraw $8 or more than $7. He can withdraw $7 only. And James, when he come to Odoc, he can also withdraw only $7 because there is one a subscriber through your course and he paid $14. So this is the accumulative contract. Finally, the most interesting contract, which is the custom contract, it will be in the milestone 3 with the USDT, hopefully, after definitively finish the USDT integration. In the custom contract, you can actually write your own formula. For example, you can say for a specific person, okay, I will pay you at a specific time. So you can add a formula like this. If now equals to this date, then release the payments. So you can have if statement and you can have custom values and custom executions. So to sum up, Odocs offer 3 basic things and actually more than 3 things, but right now, in the next 3 milestones, I'll focus on these 3 features. First of all-in-one solutions. You can have task management, payment management, and profile and performance history in the same place. And instead of using too many apps like Jira, Microsoft Excel, PayPal, and all of these, you can have one place for everything, and you can have profiles. The profiles will be very interesting. I cannot demo it right now because it's not done, but it will be very helpful for the companies because you can manage people's performance and trust and watch them through the profile feature. And the profile is not just profile where you have name and Plato score. No, there is more actually, which is the history. The transactions fee, it will be very low, much lower than PayPal, and there will be almost no taxes, hopefully. And you will have this trust score that is based on the confirmed transactions that you have. Now, how the formula work? Maybe if you are a developer, you could be worried about how the way the formula work because it could be risky. You could write a specific formula and the backend execute it differently, or people can manipulate these formulas to write it in a way that scams you. Now, in order to prevent all these problems, storing the formula in the backend in this format, you have trigger, target, and target value, and operations and execution. So when you have if statement here, this is now is the trigger, which is a time trigger, and this equals is the operation, and this is the target value. And right here, you have the execution value. Storing the formulas in this format, it restricts you to a specific format in which you cannot actually have malicious code in your formula. Now, for the triggers, there are 2 types of triggers. The time listener, which use the ICCDK timers, the update listener, which listen to the updates that you've done on the table. The time listener is just like this one. If time equals a specific date, then release the payment. This will have background task that count down until the time comes, and that will release the payment. The update listener, let's just say you have here in your table few more columns, and instead of listening to a specific date, you can listen to a specific column. Let's just say one more column named if task is confirmed. So there is someone who watched the task manually and he look at them and he says, okay, this task is confirmed. So when you select or when you move the task from the in progress section to the done section, for example, it can look like this, and you can just bring the task from here to here. And at that point, you can have if statement. If the task is moved to done section, you can release the payment. Also imagine this case where you have 2 people, the administrator and the manager. And if they both accepted the code that you provided or the work that you provided, whatever it is, you can release the payment, which is another way to think about the custom formulas and how you can use it. So instead of like someone watching, like I can manually chat with the administrator and with the manager, and if they both accept it, I can go to my PayPal account and release the payment. Instead of that, the administrator could come directly to the task management table and hit on the accept button, or go to the table and change it to accept. And the manager also, if they came and change it to accept, the payment will be automatically released, which saves a lot of time.
Now, to make this a little bit more secured, if you are trying to call an external API in your formula, the backend and the frontend both will prevent that. Also, the data structure is structured in a way where I store the contract in a separate storage and I store the content in also a separate storage. So first of all, what is contract and what is content? Now, this place that you can see here in the middle that has the table and my title is the content. So I'm creating a new page. It's called My Notes. And in this page, you can have content. This is my content. And this is a normal content. Inside here, you can have lots of things. And you can have, for example, tables. You can hit slash and table, or you can hit slash and say payment contract and hit enter. It will create a payment contract below. Right now I deactivated this just because I'm running some development, but you can imagine how this works. So this is the content. Inside the content you can have a contract like this one. So if we go to the backend code and to see how it's working, so right here in the user canister you can go to the lib.rs and you will find the storages and you will have this contracts store and you will have file content store. So these two places are separated.
So the backend will give us a data hub, this structure that you can see here with rows and columns. And inside the rows, you can see contracts. We have 3 types, remember, payment and accumulative and custom. So this one has type of payment contract and it will has an ID of 4. So the backend, it doesn't return all the data at one. It will return only the ID of the contract. So if we deleted this, it will go, but the contract will stay. That's why I'm separating it. In the front end, I gather all the data again and show it in one chunk, but it will send separated. Now, in order to understand how our code's structured, basically you need to focus on the user canister and the front-end canister, and you can ignore all the other files initially. In the user canister, you need to focus on one place, which is this one, contract store and file store, and you need to look at this. So understanding this file, especially this place and especially these 2 storages, will give you an understanding to everything. So understanding the data structure will help you to understand everything here. Also, everything structured very nicely, and you will have this repetitive system here on all the files that you go. Each file will have queries, update types, and mode. In the queries, well, of course, you will find queries like this one. In the updates, of course, you will find some updates like this one. In the types, of course, you will find the types like the user type, which is a struct user, and it has ID, name, description, photo. If we go to the contracts, we will have one contract right now. I'm not working on this, but I'm working on this payment contract. We can go to the tail and see the payment, which has contract ID, receiver, sender, amount, release, confirm. These are all the values that you need to care about, and you'll have few functionalities like these functions in the payment struct. Also on the front end, you have one file that you need to focus on, which is in Redux in files.ts. This one right here, this chunk of code, you can focus on it, which is init data. If you understand how this works, you'll understand everything about the project. So this is where to focus. You can focus on these 2 places. In the front end, you can focus here to understand and to get started with our project. And in the backend, you can focus on the lib.rs. So these 2 files is everything about the project. For the ICP transactions, I'm using the IC ledger types. And basically the deposit and the withdraw done on the chain, on the IC chain. But the inner transactions inside Odoc, when you transfer or create a payment contract and you release the payment,
it will happen inside the Odoc itself, and it will not be in the ICP chain. But when you withdraw your payment at the end, the transaction will happen on the ICP chain from Odoc to your personal wallet like Binance or Block or Stoic or Ethereum wallet, whatever wallet you are using on the blockchain. The code is not integrated yet. This is the IC wallet will be used for the Odoc wallet. And the Odoc wallet is the wallet where people deposit and withdraw in general. And also in this wallet, I will handle the shareholders or the owners of Odoc, and the shareholders can withdraw their earnings from this wallet. For example, we will have some commissions and it will be accumulated in this wallet. And at the end, you can withdraw your earnings from these commissions. Also, we will have a premium subscription. People can pay for advanced features, and it will be about $7 a month or $14 a month. And these earnings will go to the developers and it will go to the owners like me. Also, there will be temporary shareholder. So, for example, you can choose a date, let's say from the beginning of 2024 to the third month of 2024. You will have this period of 3 months. If you expect our earning will be very high at this month, you can select any 3 months period and you will have earnings. These people will come from investors. Some investors can invest here and they put their money and then they can earn in this way. So you can have, for example, 3% of our earnings for 3 months or 10% of our earnings for 3 months. And you can choose any 3 months. Now, last but not least, I will talk about the supportive features. I will support minimal video editing that has some simple AI that help you to remove the silences and the unwanted noises from your video. You can create courses on Odoc if you like with video editing and transcription. You can have also plugins just like Chrome extensions. These plugins can enable you to have few more features like different components and different formulas and also different views. The views is just the way that you can view the table. So you can create a table like spreadsheet and you can view it in form of a chart or in form of a gallery or to-do list or whatever you like. Component is just like in Notion.so, you can hit slash and insert something like a quote, table, spreadsheet, anything. Community, in the community here, you can go to the discover section that I showed you before and you can make friend requests there and you can also post about your hiring or seeking a job, or you can post about your formula or plugin or whatever work you can have, and you can get rewarded if you create a formula or a plugin or anything. You can get rewarded for that if it is used very well by the community. Also, you will have lifetime text editing and collaboration. Live collaboration is where you can write something and it will appear on the other side. This will be done through the WebSocket. And also the WebSocket will be used for the notification. So when people send you a friend request, mention you in a payment contract, confirm a payment contract, cancel a payment contract, report a payment contract, we will get notified about all of these.